Hi, and welcome to the Joy in Seeing Differently. I'm your host, Terry Hyama, and with me today I have Andy Moll, who's an Agile coach and a TRTP therapist.
Correct.
I've been working with Andy for a few years now, and very much enjoying that experience. I know you reasonably well, Andy, but for our viewers out there, maybe just introduce yourself a bit more.
Certainly. Thanks, Terry. I describe myself as a lifelong learner, trying to figure out myself. So obviously we know each other through my coaching work, but I've also studied as a hypnotherapist in my 20s, I'm a cognitive behavioural hypnotherapist. More recently, a Richards Trauma Process TRTP therapist or practitioner, and that's my passion. That's what I've been working on, as well as the day-to-day job. So, and to give a little description of that, that's really a way of resolving anxiety, depression, PTSD. So, trauma or distress-related trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Quickly, effectively, and resolution as opposed to coping strategy, which is very different to what I used to study.
Right. And different to a lot of therapies out there as well.
Most therapies, yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Right.
It's the kind of it's the I don't know, what do you call it, the golden goose, you know. It's
Okay. So I can imagine definitely that helping people resolve anxiety, depression, PTSD, things like that, would bring an awful lot of joy
Huge amount
into their lives.
Mm.
Is there an aspect of seeing differently that sort of resonates within that for you, or?
Yeah. So a big part of what I do is psychoeducation.
Mm-hmm.
Big part, really just helping people start to, we definitely talked in the past, start to dissociate from their thoughts. You are not your thoughts.
Right.
You know, your thoughts, you are something other than your thoughts, something above your thoughts. And going that step further and really starting to get them to understand the difference between the conscious, which we are often very attached to,
Yeah.
and the subconscious,
Right.
which runs every chemical reaction, every electrical impulse,
Yeah. Every process.
and your life.
Yeah.
So yeah, I one of the big things that I need to, I really work to get across to people and help them to see is actually how that subconscious is trying to keep you safe. And especially for people that are in a distressed state or in a traumatic, and when I say trauma, I mean trauma, anxiety, depression, PTSD, so panic attacks. Often they don't even realise they're suffering from anxiety. They
Right.
just know something's not right.
Right.
Okay, it's helping them to actually start, and those that do know they're suffering from anxiety, stop seeing anxiety as the problem or depression as the problem. They're symptoms.
Right.
The underlying problem is fundamentally the whole system, the whole being, believing I'm not safe.
Right.
And everything else is a consequence.
Yeah. Yeah. We are hardwired to respond to unsafe situations.
Absolutely. So, one of the things I often get people to realise is that conscious mind, if that conscious mind is the size of this fist, then the subconscious or unconscious is bigger than this room.
Right.
And if you consciously want to understand, if you consciously want something and your unconscious disagrees with that, you don't really stand a chance. It's that misalignment.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how one of the most fundamental things you can do, which is, the goal of everything from meditation, or one of the goals are things like mindfulness, anything goal orientated, so cognitive behavioral therapy, a lot of NLP techniques, is that alignment of that conscious goal with that unconscious.
Yeah.
That unconscious goal. So the way I've had it described to me, it's one of these beautiful strip lights, you know, relatively inefficient because the light waves are cancelling each other out, you know.
Okay.
Whereas you get the LED, which is actually, you know, you've got the synchronicity. It's more synchronous, the light waves, so they're more powerful. They're brighter for relatively less power. And then of course you've got the laser, where that light wave is perfectly synchronous, and it can cut through steel. So that's different. When you have that subconscious and conscious alignment, you can cut through steel. You know, you can achieve your goals. You can achieve all of that.
That's a nice metaphor. I like that.
Very nice. Stolen, I can assure you.
Cross-pollinated. Leverage. So I often describe the difference between the subconscious and the conscious is that we allow ourselves to get confused and think that the conscious mind is the identity, when actually it's the subconscious mind.
Absolutely.
And that video loop that you mentioned before is owned by the conscious mind that wants to be seen as the identity, but it's the subconscious. So you are not the thought that is that loop. You are the observer of that thought.
Absolutely.
And like I've spoken to a number of people about this, and I'm not quite sure that connects for them. How do you help people to see that relationship?
That is one of the hard. The idea of the observer. When I first started talking about this, I was so connected to my conscious that even the idea that I was viewing that I could view that was so difficult. So I kind of stay away from it at the moment because it's a really difficult one because people are so attached to it.
Yes.
But let me draw you. Getting people to at least start understanding that some of the basics between the conscious and unconscious. So again, this has been borrowed from one of my mentors. So if we have our in my finest handwriting, we have our conscious and the unconscious. And in between, the conscious informs a filter, the critical faculty. And if you can think of all the millions of bits of information that come in every second of every day, both from external and actually from our conscious. So we've actually, our thoughts, our conscious thoughts that are not us. And this filter, his job is to keep us safe. And it has to do that very, very quickly to make sense of the world. So it basically utilizes your values, your beliefs, your experiences, and your memories. Very quickly, basically, it was described to me by my mentor Dan Zalberg. it's imposing. It's actually a metaphorical expression of the past. Everything that you experience is a metaphorical expression of the past, because it's saying everything comes in. It's run through this filter, which is based on your values, your beliefs, your experiences, your memories, and it says this is either good for me or it's bad for me.
Right.
Okay, this is safe, it's not safe.
Yep.
Okay, which is great because you understand that your subconscious is absolutely on your side and trying to keep you safe.
Yes.
Okay. However, the challenges are.
That's all it has to work with as well.
Yeah. The challenges are this filter didn't exist in those first 7 years,
Right.
and a lot of these values, beliefs, came from people that loved us and wanted the best for us, but had their own challenges and their own distortions and their own desires for us, their own wants for us.
Yeah.
So these things sit there unconscious and they influence our life.
Yeah.
So it might be that you want to be, I want to be an artist,
Yeah.
and you've got an unconscious belief is artist isn't a job.
Right. Yep.
It bounces off that.
Yeah.
We don't even understand it. We have this dissonance,
Yeah.
which, as it bounces off, we don't even know we're doing it, but we can subconsciously
Yes.
sabotage
Yes.
without even understanding what's going on. I mean, and that's obviously a nice one. You start getting into some of the more challenging ones, like, you know, I deserve
Yes.
a pay rise, and I am not enough,
Yes. I think that's one of the biggest ones of all.
or I am worthless,
Yes.
or I'm not lovable, or I'm
Yes.
not whatever.
Yes.
You know, all this. To be honest, we're all very, very similar. Am I enough? Am I wanted? Am I loved? Do I belong?
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
all of these things, there's the same patterns repeating, and they just express in different ways. But I deserve a pay rise. Opportunity comes in. I'm not safe. It's not safe to have a pay rise or to
Because
get
it
a
goes
promotion
against our
because it
beliefs.
goes against our beliefs. Bang
And what's
off.
safe in the
You
world.
know.
Yeah.
I'm not lovable.
Yeah.
Okay, someone beautiful person comes into our lives. They love you. They respect you, but it's not safe because how can that's not true because I'm not lovable.
Yeah.
And so we reject, and we don't even know we're consciously doing it.
That's right, because that's happening. Also, the subconscious is going to set about some self-sabotage.
Of course, you
Because
don't
it
even know
doesn't
you're doing
align
it. Absolutely, because it's trying to
my
keep us
values,
safe.
beliefs, experiences, and memories
Absolutely.
that as a child, or maybe not even as a child, I think
And absolutely, a lot as a child, but it
but new things
continues.
as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And a lot of people, their behaviours will actually reinforce their limiting self-beliefs.
Absolutely, and more to the point, their limiting self-beliefs will print out on their life
Yes,
as repetitive patterns.
yes, exactly.
But
And leaving one job because the job sucks and the manager sucks
Yeah.
and the pay sucks and the hours suck and everything about that job sucks. Next job, it's
Same
going to
again.
suck just as much.
and until you change the filter, until
Exactly.
you change that belief, that value, and we haven't talked about experiences and memories, but you know, it's going to cause that dissonance. And this is the key. This is the key for me. This dissonance, this bouncing off, this, you know, someone who doesn't have my best interests at heart. You know, love is violence.
Right.
Okay, love is, you know, abandonment.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Someone who has those characteristics passes straight through.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
so you get
right.
these repetitive behaviour patterns of
Because that's-
being with people who are not good for you
Yeah.
because they're supported by the values
Yeah.
or the beliefs about yourself,
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And that
all
is
of
my
this-
reality.
and that's your reality.
And
until you
everything
change-
has to match my reality.
absolutely, and all of these bounce off as dissonance and create anxiety. And I'm simplifying here.
Of course, of course.
A depression,
Yeah.
Panic attacks, which is really part of anxiety. In extreme cases, PTSD. These are not the problem, they're symptoms.
Right.
The problem is, I'm not safe.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's the big thing to see differently. If anything, these symptoms are actually your subconscious trying to communicate with you that you're not in homeostasis, you're not in balance.
Yeah.
Because it can't talk to you because it talks in images. It's a pattern matching
It
device.
doesn't have language.
It doesn't have language.
Exactly.
So it has to communicate with you in another way. So, this anxiety about anxiety, if I find when I realised it was actually just my system trying to keep me safe and give me a message to,
Right.
do something different,
Yeah.
be it, the thousands of amazing techniques out there.
Yeah.
Your meditations, your
Yeah.
mindfulness, your cognitive behavioural therapy, and and TRTP, which is obviously the thing that
Right.
I've just seen the most incredible and consistently get incredible breakthroughs, especially when people have got the anxiety, depression, and PTSD, more so than anything else I've seen.
Right.
That's really,
Okay. This is awesome, Andy. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. Thank you so much, Andy.
Cheers. Thanks.